To bring themselves more in line with what mainstream editors like CapCut and DaVinci Resolve have to offer, Canva has recently rolled out their new Video 2.0 editor. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the basics on how to use it, and you can decide for yourself if it's worth for you to switch. So in order to start using Canva's new editor, you're going to have to go into a video. You can, of course, go into something else like a presentation or doc, and then go into a new page type and click on video. And when you do that, you're going to jump right into the editor. Or if you want to go into previous pages, you can go and click on exit video and you'll see your previous pages over here. Obviously, in order to edit a video, you need a video in the first place. So you can upload your own video, or you can choose something from Canva's videos already. So I'm going to click on videos. I'm going to, as you can see, I was doing a test run, click on this random chocolate chip cookie video because we just had Thanksgiving. I have dessert on the mind. Bada bing, bada. I love chocolate chip cookies. So the first thing I can do is click on the edit button. And when I click on the edit button, I can go to background remover. It's not going to remove much because the cookies are their main focus and almost everything is a cookie. But you can click on background remover. If you have like a talking head video like my own, it's going to remove everything in the background. When you have something along these lines, it's not going to do much. What you can also do is you can change how it looks. So you can adjust the color aspects of it, right? You can make it however you want for whatever theme or whatever style that you're trying to fit. I'm going to keep it just like normal. And then you have all of these third-party apps down here. Unfortunately, they are third-party apps, so your mileage may vary. I find that the video reverser tool works pretty well, and then the translator works decently well also, but not great. Now, what you can also do is if you have a talking head video, you can change the background, but when we do it this way, it's just going to change the whole thing because there's no background. The background is the video. You can also crop the video, so if you don't want to see a certain part of it, you can rotate it, and you can change the transparency. So let's say you have one video on top of another, or you have something that you don't want as prudent in the foreground or the background, you can change it like that. And you can also change just the rotation of it, although you can also do that in the crop menu. And you can change the position. So if you have multiple layers, which we're going to have in a minute, you can change it from this option over here. The last thing that I'm going to show you is how to change the speed. So if you want your video to go extremely fast or extremely slow, you can change it like that. You also have these options on the bottom. So if you just click on the option without changing anything, you're going to be able to zoom your video in and out. However, if you click on this zoom page option, you can change the timeline zoom as well. So you can change the page zoom or the timeline zoom. And this is helpful. So if you're trying to get a very intricate or a very specific time frame and split in your video, this is how you're going to do it. Now, the biggest thing that's going to help your video is this split feature. And the split feature is going to come in very handy when you're adding things like audio, or when you're adding things like text, or when you want to do a match move, things along those lines. When you want to add transitions, or you want to add cuts. Let's say I didn't want to have some of this video in here. I'm going to click on the split tool at one part. And let's say I didn't want it to be 6 seconds in. So I'm going to click the split tool again, this part. And now I have this whole chunk where I can either increase it or decrease the video length. I can delete it outright. I can come over here and edit just the specific portion to have no background or a different color theme, things along those lines. And what I can also do is I can come over here, and in these transition points, if I hover my mouse over it, you're going to see an add media button, right? Where you can just upload something else, or you can add a blank page, or you can come over here and actually add your transition itself. And when you click add transition, it's going to create transitions in between these two cuts. I love the match and move, but for right now, let's just do a color wipe because that sounds kind of fun. I'm going to color wipe it with red. And now when I come back in here and click on play, it's going to color wipe into whatever I have created. What I can also do is come over and click on elements. So I can get in, let's say, a zoomed in shot of somebody eating the chocolate chip cookie itself. It's going to open up in that split part. Or what I can also do is if I just drag the video in, I can also bring it into a separate line on my timeline. So now I have an overlapping video. What am I going to do? I just had a video and now this video is taking over. There's several things that I can do. I can, one, just make it smaller, bigger, like it automatically puts, right? So that it looks very disjointed, but maybe I can put it in a corner and play it like that, right? So that's maybe the end result of what's going to happen when you make this recipe. I can also come over here and click on background remover. So now if I make this bigger, maybe now it's like, oh, this is part of the video and I can match it to the video itself, right? I can color grade it so that it looks exactly like the video behind it. Now, the next thing we can do is add in our media. So we can add in a voiceover by clicking on voiceover or an AI generated voice. That sounds terrible, right? So if I wanted to say something, it'll give me a countdown. These are the best chocolate chip cookies you're ever going to have. When I finish it, I can now place this anywhere I want. I can place them at the beginning. I can place them at the end, wherever. Doesn't matter. What I can also do is I can come back into audio and I can add in music. So let's say we're making this for friends and family. You can add whatever songs you want. Let's say we're making this for social media. You can add in copyright-free music and put it over on the bottom. So if I click on Joy to the World, I can drag it in or I can just click on it. And it's going to be the entire snippet or however long the song is. And what you can do is you can shorten it. So now that we have both our voiceover and music in, it's going to sound like this. These are the best chocolate chip cookies you're ever going to have. The issue is that now the music is way too loud. So what I can do, besides just editing it so that I can make it longer or shorter, is I can actually come over here, click on the music itself, and now lower the music so that it comes in line so that it's background music instead of the overpowering voiceover. I can also go in and make my voice louder. The issue is that it's going to distort the video, so you probably don't want to do that, but you certainly can, right? And then I can click on balance all, so it's all the relatively same level. But now when I go back and play it, these are the best chocolate chip cookies you're ever going to have. It's a lot more balanced. I can also click on beat sync, which it semi works, but for the most part, just as a cool thing to do. And what that's going to do is every time there's like a louder note, it'll match your images or it'll match the video cuts to the beat. The last thing I'm going to show you is how to add text into your video. So let's say I want to tell the viewer that this is the best chocolate chip cookie recipe you're ever going to have. I can add the text, make it whatever font I want, like normal, put it in the middle. You can change the color. You can change whatever you want. When you're all done, you can either keep it like this. You can extend it so it's the full length of the video. You can cut it and make it in the middle. But what you can also do, let's say I don't want this to be in the middle the entire time, but I want the words on the page. What I can do is I can go into wherever I want to split it, click on split, which is this button over here. Now that you split the text and your video in the same spot, you should see a change transition button or just an add transition button in your video now. And you can put that into a transition so it'll look like this. What you can also do is now that it's split, you can change this text so that it just says your ingredients maybe, right? Or, you can put recipe direction, something along those lines, right? Even if you wanted to keep it in the same spot, now you can have it over here and then you can change this font so that it looks a little better, right? Whatever you want to do. And so that when you click on go, you'll have that transition in there and then you can line things up. This does have like a magnetic feature so that your videos line up. You can actually move your different elements so that they line up with your other elements so that it's not just slightly off or slightly ahead of whatever you wanted to do. And when you're all finished, this is going to be your end result. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and hope you got something out of it. Let me know down below what you would like to see next. Whether that's a Canva review or a tech review or something along those lines, maybe you have something cool that you would like me to check out. I do want to do more things along the lines of Canva, especially with that keynote they had a couple weeks ago that introduced Affinity to the whole mix, which is basically the free version of Photoshop and is kind of getting Adobe scrambled because their platform costs hundreds of dollars a month. But let me know if you want to see that. Otherwise, I'm out.